What can you say about the live launch of Harley Davidson 2023? I thought it was really disappointing, and I thought it was quite insulting, really. It just didn't have the awe and wonder which I thought it was going to have. It just didn't have any of that. I feel Harley Davidson have let themselves down here, and they've let the fans down and what they were expecting. They had an opportunity to not only address kind of people's concerns, let's say in terms of pricing and everything like that, but they had an opportunity to really bring people in, and I think they failed. So let's just start with where I think Harley Davidson did a good job, right? I thought basically the production quality was good, and I think they skipped over the heritage part quite quickly, so it's only on there for a couple of minutes. Then they went straight into the anniversary lineup of bikes, which I thought was good, 120th anniversary. But that's where it ended, because whilst the color was really nice, the red, and the stitching on the seats was nice, and the badges was nice. I mean, essentially that's what you got. You got new paint, different badges and emblems on the tank, and also on the engine casings, let's say, and different stitching on the seats, but essentially, and color on the seats, but essentially that's it. That's what you're getting. So you've got the ultra limited anniversary bike, and that is a production limited to 1,300, and that's all over the globe. The Tri-Glide ultra anniversary, that is 1,100 examples. Then you got the Street Glide special anniversary, and that's 1,600 vehicles. And then you got Road Glide special anniversary, 1,600. You got the Fat Boy 114 anniversary, and that's 3,000. And then you got the Heritage Classic 114, that's 1,700. That's all you got. My criticism here is that Harley Davidson just didn't spend enough time showcasing those bikes. They had this kind of weird, dulled down interview with a couple of guys, the guys are probing the questions, but it wasn't really anything there. So I think a lot of people came away feeling, well, they didn't really show the bikes off properly, and they kind of skipped over that quite quickly. And then they didn't really talk about the CVO bikes in any great detail at all. It was just poor. Really, it was just poor. Then they went on to the accessories, and they went on to the merchandise and the clothing. Okay, that was fine. I didn't have really much of an issue with that. But then they went on to the three-wheelers. You got the freewheeler, or the trikes, I should say. They went on to the freewheeler, which is available here in Europe as well. And basically, it's got new paint, new wheels, blacked out version as well. Looks nice if you like trikes as well. And for the US market, they had the Road Glide 3. It's the freewheeler with a Road Glide fairing on it. So they had to work on the ergonomics on that as well. It looks nice if that's your thing. And the paint scheme looks nice. That's great. But that was kind of, are we talking brand new motorcycles here, or are we talking the same motorcycle just with a different design? That Road Glide 3, which is only available in the US and not over here in the United Kingdom, it should have had a tour pack of some kind. It should have had some extra baggage. It should have had it really more comfortable for somebody, perhaps. I don't know. I think the freewheeler, I get that. I get that as a stripped back, fun trike. You got the boot space at the back. You just go around and hoon around and have some fun. But if you're going to have a Road Glide fairing on it, then you've got to make it into a big touring road glide, as it were, trike. So I thought that was a bit out of place, really. So that was that. Yeah, the last, was it the last bike or the second from last bike? The last bike they featured was the Breakout 117. Again, a bigger fuel tank, handlebar rises, and it's got in chrome finish. Comes in 4 different colours, £24,500 if you want that. I just think 117 engine. I just think why just come out with this? Why just come out with the 117 with a Breakout? Why bring that out? That just seemed really odd to me. And, some people will love it, some people will hate it, but it wasn't the greatest sell in the United States, so why bring it back? And that's still an expensive bike. I think it's a poor decision for them to bring that back. But each to his own. But I just don't think it's the right bike to have as to bring back, and I just don't think it's the right bike to have a 117 engine in. Now, around Europe, the Breakout never left, basically, so it was still there, but they just upped it to a 117. So it's not a new bike, it's just an evolved bike. Same with the trikes. They're not new bikes per se. They just evolved, and one's just got a new fairing and different wheels, essentially. So it's not really new. The anniversary bikes, they're not new bikes. They just got different paint, different badges, different seating, let's say. So where is the new bike? Here we go. Let's go to the Revolution Max. Let's go to the Nightster. Well, the Nightster, they've kind of tweaked a little bit, but they brought out another variant, the Nightster S, or the Nightster Special, let's say, and it's it's just a different styling again. So it's not a new bike. It looks nice. The black denim paint looks nice, but I can't really tell you that these are new bikes. So where are we left with Harley Davidson in this reveal? You know, in my comments, if you're watching the chat yesterday, people were upset. People were insulted. People were really disappointed. It was a shame. I was saying it was a shame that, you know, you're probably going to watch lots of other YouTube channels out there who are, you know, going to be waxing lyrical about it. I'm sorry, I'm not. I just thought the anniversary bikes look nice, but they are really expensive, right? But they look nice, and I like the paint scheme. I thought the production of the whole show was a little bit muted. I thought it was just a bit too quiet. There was no razzmatazz about it. It wasn't uplifting enough. And perhaps, maybe there was a little bit of embarrassment from them. I don't know. The Nightster isn't really a new bike, is it? The Breakout has just brought out an old bike. So where's the new bikes for 2023? You know, the 350cc or 500cc that's supposed to be coming out, no mention of that at all. You had no mention of the Pan America 975. You had no mention of any upgrades or anything differences to either the Cruiser or the Tourer lineup. No mention of any other Revolution Max engine bike coming out, whether that be the Pan America 975 or anything within the Sport range, or anything to be added to the Cruiser lineup, or anything added to the Touring lineup. It was just poor. And also, they merely mentioned, when they were talking about the CVO Road Glide, that they only had one. They said, yeah, we got another couple of CVOs coming out. Well, why not tell us about it now? It was just very odd. So you don't know anything about the rest of the CVOs. You don't know what kind of engines they're going to get or anything. And it's this tactic of drip feeding. But the problem is with drip feeding is that you've created this groundswell of anticipation for this grand reveal on the 18th, and you just didn't deliver anything. So people are wondering, well, what did I wait for? What have I been waiting around for some anniversary bikes which we knew were going to come, and we knew they're going to be expensive? You know, this Nightster S, which a lot of people already knew was coming as well, which isn't really much of a surprise, and it isn't much of a change either, so that's not a new bike. This Breakout 117 that the news came out in the last couple of weeks, okay, fine. And then also the three-wheelers, the trikes. Well, yes, a three-wheeler that's got new colour, new paint, okay, great, different wheels, and people make a big thing about that, new wheels. Okay, it's new wheels, all right, great. But then the Road Glide fairing on the three-wheeler as well, they're calling it the Road Glide 3, but essentially it's a three-wheeler with a Road Glide fairing, isn't it? Yeah, only for the US market. Let's just see how that does. They're going to come out with new bikes. They're going to drip feed new bikes, but it just wasn't good enough. It just wasn't anything that I can say to you guys, wow. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate, I think, and I think that's where, for me, this is probably the last time that I spend a lot of my time looking at Harley Davidson now, because I'll mention it in live streams coming up, and I'll mention for new bikes that are coming up. But what's the point in holding out for what Harley Davidson are going to give you when they just give you nothing really, nothing new, and it's supposed to be bringing out new bikes. And for me, this isn't new bikes. I could be completely wrong. I could be looking at this at a completely wrong angle, but for me, it's not new. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say on the subject. Let us know your thoughts if you're watching this later on.
RevelatorAlf.